Great, I'm glad everyone's here and you can hear me. And during this presentation, I'm going to show you the current opportunities that exist in today's real estate market. I'm going to show you everything that's working, everything that's not working, all the lefts, the rights, the ups, the downs. This way you can make an informed decision if an opportunity like I'm going to share with you makes sense for you in your life right now. Now, from time to time, I'm going to demo some software that you can invest in that speeds up the entire process. But you can take what you've learned here and tackle this with or without the software. I just want to make sure you understand what's available. And either way, you're going to be a much smarter individual after this call. So hopefully you're on a desktop computer here. So after about the first 20 minutes of this presentation, you're never going to be able to look at real estate the same ever again. Everything has changed, and you're going to see that. It's all going to unfold throughout this presentation. The first half of this presentation, what we did was really unique because we kind of started with the end in mind. This way you get the best right in the very beginning of this webinar. So the first half of this presentation was intended for very experienced real estate investors, people who run large firms and people who are flipping dozens and dozens of properties each and every year. We designed a demo aspect that I'm going to show you here shortly that shows these high volume property buyers how they can use new tech breakthroughs to accelerate what they're doing, new technology to do all of the hard work for them so they can just grow and grow and grow. And that's really going to be the focus of the first 20 minutes of this presentation. Then for anyone out there who's still new to real estate, maybe you've just done a few deals, we're going to give you a clear and concise understanding of every step in logical order. And then we're going to show you how new technology makes it easier. Now, in the past, I would have had to do a week-long training and boot camp to take you through the entire process, soup to nuts, but not anymore. Now, what's really unique is we're going to let everyone on this webinar key in their state, their city, or their county, or even their neighborhood and experience what some of the old school real estate investors are calling magic in real time. Prior to holding this training, we surveyed over 15,000 real estate investors. And I personally spent 2 full days going through every survey. And we updated aspects of this presentation to touch on some of your biggest challenges. The number one biggest challenge out there is you guys are looking for deals. In this hyper competitive market, it's like seagulls on a French fry out there. There's almost like an underground, a dark web of investment properties that very few people know about. And when you see someone doing really well in real estate, they're tapping into that in some way. So we're going to give you access to this through the presentation, which is why you'll never be able to look at real estate the same. There's an entire new lens really to look through here. And just follow me here for a second. Imagine if you can just drive through a neighborhood and your phone gave you an alert when you were near a property that was not listed on the MLS that you could pick up for pennies on the dollar. You'd be able to instantly see the owner's contact info, press a button and make an offer, and you were even matched with money partners. If you like that, then you're on the right call. So let me talk about how you're going to benefit from being here. Experienced investors, it's really a no-brainer. We're going to give you access to inventory that you don't have right now in a way that's never been presented before, and you're going to be able to move faster. Then we have the people that I like to refer to as the scared studier. And maybe scared isn't the right word, but it's just the person who's out there just trying to learn everything. They're listening to podcasts, watching videos, reading books, and they just can't really get started. They can't get in the game. And you got to be in to win. So we're going to give you what you need to kind of break out of running through scenarios in your mind and actually getting in real estate. And this isn't something that we really intended, but if you're a real estate agent and you happen to stumble across this training, real estate agents that had early access to the beta version of what we're showing here have been absolutely crushing it. So this could be a real inside track for you. Savvy home buyers. Again, not people that we typically talk to here, but if you're looking for a house for pennies on the dollar to move into, then you're going to learn exactly how to do that here. And that's a fantastic way for you to really help pave a good financial future for yourself. Have your home have 50% equity in it the second that you walk in. And also those looking for a side hustle. Anyone looking for something they can do part-time where they can eventually make more than they make in their full-time job. Many people want to kind of tiptoe into real estate, get a few deals under their belt, and then transition out of their job and start doing it full time. The ability to get into real estate part-time didn't really exist a short time ago because it took so much hard work. It took so much extra effort. It was worth it, but it was just so hard. And it was really cool. I came across this right before the presentation and I threw it in here. This is the most common side hustle. Look at real estate. 11% of all substantial second incomes come from real estate. So those of you looking for a side hustle, you found the right industry. And again, this is from Hustle Magazine. They also find the most lucrative side hustle. Real estate blows through the average. You're in the right place at the right time. And let me tell you something. That first flip really changes your life. Here's an article from Fortune Magazine that shows the average gross profits on a flip at $58,000. For those of you who have been in real estate for a while, I'm sure you can remember how it felt to get that first check. Maybe it wasn't 58,000, maybe it was more, maybe it was less. But your whole perspective on life and your future completely changes once you get that first check. You get oxygen, right? It's like a breath of fresh air. You can do the things that you want to do. For newbies, guys, your day is coming. Maybe you've sold a property. A buddy of mine sold his property he lived in for 2 or 3 years, made $120,000 on it. He's like, wow. So now he wants to kind of keep doing that. So people accidentally make a lot of money in real estate. And when you're intentional, you're going to be able to do really well. Now listen, because I'm both a real estate investor and the CEO of the world's largest network of real estate investors, I have a unique perspective on what's going on in the real estate market, unlike anyone else. Our platform is involved in hundreds of real estate transactions in all areas of the US each and every month. And I can tell you this. There's a huge correlation between people who are successful in this business and get to cash these life-changing checks and the people that try and fail. Anyone have a guess on what that is? The number one challenge today and the roadblock that you have to be able to overcome before you get paydays like this is you have to be able to access properties at deep enough discounts. Listen, 90% of problems that real estate investors experience are a result of not being able to get properties cheap enough. In this market, the competition is fierce and well-funded. So over the next 30 minutes, we are going to solve this problem for you by giving you access to data-driven tech to see deals that others simply can't. If you're thinking data-driven tech, oh my gosh, what is that? Guys, don't worry. It's just a fancy way of saying you push a button and get what you're looking for. This presentation is laser focused on how to find houses that are not available to the general public that you could buy for a fraction of the retail price, allowing you to choose if you want a quick flip for a big payday or hold on for monthly passive income. For the person that needs money now, you're going to want a quick flip and get one of those big checks. For someone who wants to have money coming in each and every month, rentals are fantastic. What are you looking for? Are you looking for a quick big payday or are you looking for passive income? Put it in the webinar box. I love kind of seeing where your guys' goals are, where you're trying to get. Nothing else matters if you can't find properties at bargain prices. Now, I know what you're saying. You're saying, Ross, what about the funding? What about the contracts? I want you to understand this one fact. Money follows opportunity. I fully understand your troubles because I've been there. Now, nearly all of your other problems melt away once you can find properties for pennies on the dollar. But this means you have to fish from a different pond than everyone else because everyone keeps doing the same old thing over and over again and expecting different results. That's the definition of insanity. Now, what's great is you don't have to quit your job to do what I'm going to show you here. You just need to put in some effort today for a better tomorrow. In this market, the ability to find and create deals is the only skill you need, period. So it's my goal to ensure you 100% know how you're going to find properties for a fraction of the retail price. I personally have billions of dollars riding on your success. More on that in a second. But I will say that you are going to learn this with absolute certainty throughout this presentation. Now, this is so important. We even put together a training summary here. Right after this webinar, we're going to transcribe this, take all the keynotes out. Just go ahead and chat us. I want it in the webinar box right now. And I'll make sure that your email address is one that receives this PDF the second that we're done with this. Okay, so go ahead and chat, I want it right now. I've been in this industry since 2005, but I'm not a guru. I don't speak from stage or sell coaching. I don't travel around and do presentations all across the country. There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of my best friends do that type of thing. It's just not who I am or what we're about here at Connected Investors. We're a venture-backed technology company, and our mission has been since day one, since 2005, to make real estate investing easier. I've been investing in real estate since I was 18. I've published several books. I was nominated by Entrepreneur Magazine as Entrepreneur of the Year. I recently won the REI Impact Award because of all the changes that we're bringing to this industry. I'm a writer for Forbes. When they need insights on the market, they come to me. I'm the CEO of ConnectedInvestors.com. Things have not always been this great for me. I suffered a life-altering injury at a very young age that changed everything. Early in my life, I was a rising BMX star, and one crash put me out. My sponsors no longer sent me checks. I couldn't do what I love, and to be honest, I fell into a little depression. I got mad at the world. I went from traveling around the country and signing autographs to sitting on the couch and getting my cast signed. After I depleted what little savings I had. As a BMX rider, you don't really make money. You're just doing what you love. I was forced to take the very first job I can get. Some of you have been following me since 2005, and that I was in the dumps unlike anyone else. My job position was a dumpster diver. Then I heard a quote that really stuck with me. Everyone is self-made, but only the millionaires admit it. And I realized at that moment that I was a self-made dumpster diver. After a little while, I stopped blaming others, and I made the choice not to settle. Maybe you've had a similar moment, where you kind of look in the mirror and think to yourself, life was not supposed to turn out like this. I thought I'd be a little further ahead by now. I realized I needed a side hustle that I can do part-time while dumpster diving because I couldn't get out of the dumpster. That's how I was living. I didn't have any extra money, but what I did have was 1 extra hour a day to invest. So I'd stop at Barnes & Noble on the way home, sit there smelling like a dumpster, sipping on the free water and reading the books. I couldn't afford to buy the books, so I treated it like a library. When I learned that 80% of millionaires amass their fortune as a result of real estate, to me, it meant real estate investing was proven and the odds were in my favor. As I learned more, I realized you can get into real estate without using any of your own cash or credit and without a college degree. Well, that was perfect because I had none of that at the time. I jumped right in and never looked back. Now it's crazy. A little over a decade later, my book is in Barnes & Noble. I made a fortune in a short period of time and used the money I earned from flipping real estate to start ConnectedInvestors.com. That has since grown into the largest social network of real estate investors on the planet and a company that helps facilitate $3 billion in transactions for real estate investors every month. You might be asking yourself, okay, Ross, I understand you're not a guru. Then why are you doing a webinar? Well, maybe you saw this on Fox News, but it shows right here that the CEO of Connected Investors, which is me, pushes toward $100 billion. We have billions to deploy over the next 12 months. This is a 4x increase in what we're currently doing. So we have to think outside the box. And when I sat down with my team, we were like, what if we gave the average real estate investor access to deal flow that they've never had before? They'd be so happy that when they needed funding for those deals, they would come to us. So that's why we're here. That's what we're doing for you. And when I say we need to move billions, let me just be very clear. This is not bank funding, right? This is private money. Self-made does not mean self-financed. Financial success does not require you to put your own capital at risk. So if you don't have any, great, you don't need it. Now listen, if you're just joining us right now, I see a lot of people jumping on the webinar. We're touching base on how to find houses not available to the general public that you can buy for a fraction of the retail price. And we also have private lenders attached to these deals so you don't have to worry about where the money will come from. So let's go ahead and jump right in. This is insider secret number 1. I want you to go ahead and write this down. This is very, very important. And it's a big mind shift here. So pay attention because no one else has ever taught you this. Ready? Look for data, not deals. Data always comes before the deal. There is a very predictable pattern every single time. And once I saw this pattern, I was blown away and I got obsessed with figuring that out. Once you understand that pattern, you can see what others can't. You can beat people to the deals. You can find exactly what you're looking for, but only data will give you a glimpse. And remember, when I say data, I'm talking about access. I'm talking about a competitive advantage. So data is really like a front of the line pass. If you've been in real estate, this is probably what it feels like to you when you're out there looking for deals. And a lot of the gurus, they teach you how to put a different type of bait on your hook when you drop it into the water. People are in there elbowing each other. It's just so competitive right now. You have to get ahead of this. You need a front of the line pass. And data is like this right here. You can see exactly where the deals are before other people. Before those fish swim all the way down to where all those fishing rods are, you've grabbed the best ones. That is the difference. And it's crazy because people are still teaching this way. So good luck there. That's why you're really smart for being here. Remember, we're a technology company, not a guru. We look at and think of things differently. In real estate, having inside information is a huge competitive advantage. In the stock market, using inside information to profit makes you a criminal. You recognize this person? Martha Stewart. Remember when she went to jail for insider trading? It's because she was able to easily profit. She had inside information not available to the general public. She knew it was about to happen. She got a few steps ahead. They called it an unfair advantage and threw her in jail. Imagine if you had inside information that allowed you to grab the most profitable properties before they were publicly available. In real estate, it's completely legal to gather information not available to the general public and profit off this. That's what you're supposed to do. And you know what? This is what people are referring to as the fourth industrial revolution. Now, I'm sure you've noticed these articles, but I want to point out something. Look at this. Whether it's in Forbes or overseas, they talk about this fourth industrial revolution that's all data driven and how to survive it. Because things are changing so much, many entry-level jobs are just being wiped out. And guys, we're in the middle of it. You're talking to Alexa and to Siri, and data is the new currency. Each industry is jumping in, and the big guys got it first. The cable companies, medical, advertising, financial markets. Now, the individual real estate investor will have access. Now, this is really game-changing what I'm about to share with you right here, so pay close attention. Forget Alexa and Siri. Imagine if there was a new device. Let's just call it Ross, right? And you can say, hey, Ross, find me an off-market property that is vacant in my neighborhood. It's in pre-foreclosure, has 50% equity. The owner lives out of town. The property is in good condition. Oh, and include the owner's email address and private funding. For the active guys out there who understand this sentence, could you imagine how powerful that would be if you could ask that question and just get the answer? Let me just translate this. Off-market means it's not on the MLS. All right. So there's no competition. You're not in there fishing with everyone else. Vacant or out-of-town owner means the owner has no attachment. They've moved on. Pre-foreclosure means the owner is financially motivated. 50% equity means it's a slam dunk deal. Good condition means there's less expense to fix it and flip it. Email address means it's easy to contact the person. And private lenders means there's money for the deal. Let me translate this sentence one more time to someone who's completely new. What you're really asking is, hey, Ross, find me a great deal on a property in my neighborhood that no one else knows about. Find an owner willing to sell at a big discount and put the whole deal together through email. Oh, and find me someone else to put up the money. Let me ask a question here. For the newbies, if you had this type of information delivered to you daily, do you think you can finally get a deal closed? Maybe in the next several months or several weeks? Yeah. Could you think of a better place to focus your time? No. This is how you find those slam dunk deals. And the slam dunk deals are the easy in, easy out. Deals that you have lenders begging to be your money partner for. Buyers are lined up. And, actually Michael Jordan here and we both went to the same high school. His coach was my gym teacher, the guy that wouldn't let him join the basketball team, right? He was my gym teacher. Now, could you imagine if Michael Jordan gave up? Thank God he didn't. But we're going to show you how to find those slam dunk deals. For this to become a reality for you, and like I mentioned in the beginning, it seems almost magic because the old school guys have been doing it so hard for so long. Here's what has to happen. Every day we run advanced searches and algorithms on over 1 billion different data points. And this creates kind of like a funnel, right? We start with billions of records on people, on properties, on financial situations of individuals. And we get all of that data and we crunch it. So you have the 1 or 2 deals that could make you a life-changing check. Let me go ahead and show you what we do with all that data after we crunch it. We put it into something that we like to refer to here as the cash board. And take a look at this. It's exactly what you're looking for. And a lot of people have been referring to this as, the real estate investors MLS. It's one spot you can go and see every single thing you need to find deals, money, and buyers. I'm going to demo this and I'm going to give you access to this shortly. It's going to absolutely blow your mind. And let me just explain one thing real quick. For decades and decades, there have been millions of dollars going into hiding this type of information from you. The Association of Realtors has spent over $150 million over the last several years to try to keep their monopoly. They don't want you to have access to this data, but technology keeps poking holes, and we finally have the data that we need to be able to make this a reality. And I'm going to show it to you all here and give you access in just a second. Now, what's really cool is you can search by all these different types of deals, and then I'm going to show you how you can sort all these different deal sources by all of these different layers of motivation. That one tool I just gave you a glimpse of is what makes everything I'm about to show you here a reality. So here's the PIN method. And you might think I'm oversimplifying it, but as you get access to the software, you're going to understand that, wow, it really is that easy. So here's what you do. You have to look where others can't, because you can't fish out of the same pond that everyone else is. You have to connect in a modern way. You have to be able to get directly to the decision maker of those properties. And then you cash in using the method that makes you the most money with the least brain damage. And when I say brain damage, I'm really talking about risk. And you can do this all using just one tool directly from your cell phone. It's very straightforward and very different than anything else out there. And it solves, in my opinion, the number one challenge, which is finding houses to wholesale, fix and flip, or buy and rent. So here's what I love about what I'm going to show you and what makes this so simple and revolutionary. You don't need a big marketing budget. You don't need to be handy. You don't need a license or experience. You don't need much time. You don't need to have good credit or a pile of cash. You don't need to hire a team of people, and you don't need to visit the property. You will need an internet connection, a little training, and one tool. The fact that you're on this call proves that you already have 2 out of 3 of the things here. You have an internet connection and you're willing to learn something, which is fantastic. Most people are stuck in the old ways and they don't want to learn. Most people just complain and surround themselves with other complainers, but not you. You know there's a great future waiting for you and you're sitting here evaluating opportunities. It's very smart. I do the same thing. And your timing is really, really important here because supply and demand drives everything. Life is really all about timing. You've probably seen this. There's going to be more housing shortages, new home sales rise again, and landlords now rule half of the U.S. cities. Everyone wants their money in real estate. Why do you think our lending partners are pushing us to $100 billion? They want their money in real estate too, and they want to give it to you to put to use. All you need here is a supply of discounted properties that others don't have access to. There's a real estate investing tech company out there called Open Door, and they just raised an additional $400 million from SoftBank after doing a $325 million raise. I sat down with their CEO, and what they're doing is impressive, but at its core, it's the same exact thing that I'm showing you how to do. Actually, the information we're providing you here hurts their model a little bit because this tech that I'm showing you here has leveled the playing field for the mom and pop investor to where you can actually compete with and beat someone who has $1 billion dedicated to go out there and buy real estate. This is another mind shift here. Here's the thing. You have the entire world fishing from the same pond. There's about 2 million properties at any time listed on the MLS. So you have everyone fighting over them. But listen, there's 137 million properties that are off market, meaning they're not listed. And with the tools and the software that we show you, We'll show you how to sift through those 137 million properties so you can find just the good deals. No matter what pond you're fishing from, there's only one way to get a deal. Can somebody guess here? I'm going to take a sip of my water while you put it in the webinar box. There's only one way to get a good deal. Financial motivation. If the seller is not motivated in some way, you're not going to get a deal. And this is true in every market cycle. You can take advantage of this good economy and prepare yourself for the valleys that we all know are coming. This is really how you recession-proof your income, so you don't get wiped out again when things take a turn. I was showing this to a good friend of mine, and he wasn't a real estate investor, but he's constantly picking my brain saying, Ross, I want to get into real estate. And I showed him the first half of this presentation, and he goes, Ross, why would somebody sell a property for a fraction of its value if they have equity and the demand is so strong? That's a great question. It's sad but true. Most Americans have less than $1,000 in savings. People used to have savings. If they fell a little behind, they can go to a family member or a neighbor. Now, things keep getting more and more expensive. Maybe you can relate. People lose their job. They have a life situation, health issues, taking care of a loved one, a death in the family, divorce. There's so many different reasons. And what's awesome here, and I need you to really understand this, is you get to help people. These people are literally praying for you, and you get to help them while making a fortune. It's so rewarding. Everyone wants to know the answer to the $1 million question. And I've labeled this the $1 million question because it doesn't matter where I go. I can be out with friends or I can be with some family I haven't seen in a while, and I always get cornered because people want to invest in real estate and they know I know a thing or two about it. And they go, Ross, where can I get the deals? They're out there reading about vacants and pre-foreclosures and for sales and probates and foreclosure auctions and expired listings and REOs and zombie properties and auction properties and shadow inventory. Vacant houses are a great place to start because a vacant home is a leading indicator of financial distress or tough life changes. No matter what the market's doing, people lose their job or go through a divorce and have to move on, and you're stepping in to help these people. Individuals in pre-foreclosure, they really need your help. People who've inherited properties, at first it's sad and it's stressful for these individuals, but at some point you got to say, all right, we got to sell the house. I just want it to be done with. And then you can step in and help those individuals. And then there's the banks, and you're not really worried about helping those individuals, but what you're doing is you're cleaning up neighborhoods when these properties are just sitting on the side of the road. So this is a very fulfilling and interesting way to make a lot of money while doing good and helping the community and yourself. And the shortcuts that I'm going to show you, you can accomplish all of this from home. So to answer this question, the $1 million question, what deals should I focus on? The answer is all of them. You should focus on all of them. There is no one right answer. There's no one magic type of deal. You have to be where the deals are. You have to get there before they hit the MLS and everyone is flocking to them. In the past, what I would do is I would show people how to do one specific type of deal. Hey, here's how you find probates. Here's what you say to them. Here's how you evaluate them. And that was important because back in the day, and I'm talking about like a year ago, you had to do everything manually. So you couldn't focus on all of the deals. So we had to kind of focus on one at a time. But now you can focus on all of them at the same time because you have a deal finding GPS, right? That allows you to look through 137 million properties every day to find just the best deals. This is how you run circles around your competition or finally do your first deal. There's no other option on the planet that pulls together and analyzes every property that's on the market and every property that's off the market, 137 million or more, to point you to exactly what you need. This is how you pinpoint the best houses to flip. And once you have access to this, it's really like paint by numbers. Without access to this, you have to spend years learning. When I pulled up this screenshot just to put on the webinar, if you lean into your screen and you look right here, there's over $400,000 in equity in that property. My gosh, data is a fantastic thing. In just a few slides, I'm going to let you search your market using this. This is what we were so excited about. You ever seen a house with long grass, right? Or maybe you saw your dream house and you said, man, I'd love to buy that house. Check this out. Now you can say, hey, Ross, let me know if the owners at 27 Main Street or whatever address you want ever show signs of needing to sell fast. So you punch in that address and you go on your way. Then a few months later, your phone buzzes. You get a little message from PIN. It says 27 Main Street is now vacant. Here's the owner's name. Here's their phone number. They paid $127. It's worth $301. You've never been able to set up those types of notifications. The way that people use this is actually really crazy. And I showed this to my neighbor, and he put his son's address in there. And he's like, I just want to know if he ever falls behind on payments. Now, that's not how it's intended to be used, but it's true. You can use it however you want to use it. This type of convenience has never existed before. Are you starting to see how you can actually do this part-time? You can tiptoe into real estate, or if you're in real estate, you can really get going. Tasks that previously took days can now be done in seconds, and this is why you can focus on every type of deal. It used to take a lot of time to find the best rate on a hotel room or flight. Now you do it in seconds. It used to take time and a lot of frustration to catch a taxi. Now you push a button. Remember when you had to rewind movies before you returned them? This is a really big deal. I know if you've been in the game for a while, you understand fully what this will do for your business, right? But for the newbies, people who haven't yet done a deal, let me show you the other option. Here's how your competition looks for off-market deals. They pull public records. This is very time-consuming. They buy lists. If they're smart, right, they might try to find lists. The lists are outdated the second you find them. They put We Buy Houses signs up. Well, that's illegal. They build a referral network. That's a waste of time. They hire people. That's really expensive. They might talk to a realtor. And in many cases, that's all of the above. Don't do that. You're wasting your time. You'll never, ever make it if you have to go through that crazy maze. By the time your competition drops their letter in the mail, you could have already flipped the property. You found it way before they did. You contacted them directly through email, text, or, whatever. You're already ahead of them. This is why you've been having a hard time if you've been in the business and you haven't been able to get there. And let me just tell you something. If you rely solely on direct mail or do any manual research, your business is really going to suffer. Now, listen, if you're an old school guy and you're doing well, and you're like, well, Ross, I'm doing well. I'm making it happen. All this new tech stuff. I don't need to learn any of that. I'm just going to keep sending my mail and working with whoever I'm working with, right? Listen, I get that. I respect that. I cut my teeth with that same type of marketing. But it's like you're a boxer, right? And you got one hand. You got a left hand. And you're in the ring and you're jabbing. Once you add this on, now you got that nice right hook. You got two hands. You're a two-fisted boxer. This is really important. So you're going to see a real-time supply of houses to flip in your market that others don't know about. Plus, all of these deals have real private lenders attached, so you don't have to worry about where the money will come from. All right, it's time for me to give you a little demo, and I'm going to also give you the web address so you can search your local market. Before I jump in, I just want you to understand that the data we're showing you is updated daily. Each day, new deals are added and the old ones are taken out or moved. Meaning, if a house is no longer vacant or if it went from a pre-foreclosure to an REO, we update that. If it's been sold, it's been removed. So you can just see the best deals. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull up PIN now. Here we go. Let's make this full screen. All right, now I've been looking over the chat box a little bit while I've been doing this, and I saw a lot of you guys ask questions like, hey, Ross, what's a zombie property? What's shadow inventory? I'm going to touch on that real quick. Here's your new dashboard, your deal finding GPS. It's the one spot you're going to go to have a constant supply of deals that other people can't find. This is information that's not available to the general public, most of it. So let me go ahead and just hit the filters button so I can touch on some of the questions you guys had. And you might want to lean into your screen here And you can see, yes, you can find all the vacant properties. These are properties with no one living in it. And what we do that's really special is we make sure that these aren't vacation homes or second properties. Those are just a waste of time. These are just vacant properties that have some indication of distress. You have pre-foreclosures. These are people who are 90 days or more late on their mortgages. They're financially motivated. You have the courthouse deals that you can go down to and bid at the courthouse. You have all of the bank-owned properties. And what's really cool is you can sort by just the best bank-owned properties with a lot of equity. You have shadow inventory. Now, these are bank-owned and they're not listed anywhere. So they're not technically for sale, but we show you how to contact the bank and buy them before it hits the MLS. That's where the hedge funds live. That's where the money's made. We have zombie properties. Those are properties that are in pre-foreclosure and vacant. That means the owner packed up and left. Those are really good deals. You have probate as well. These are inherited properties, and you get to talk directly to the decision maker. So you can talk to the executor or the brother that's kind of handling all of that. And let me just say that shadow inventory, zombie properties, a lot of this, you can't find it anywhere else, period. You have all of the for sale by owners out there. So we do some really cool things to find the best for sale by owners that have financial motivation and enough equity in the property to where it's worth reaching out. So not only do we pinpoint and point to the best properties for you, we make sure to sort out all of the duds so you can spend your time just on the deals. We have the CI marketplace properties. These are wholesale deals exclusive to connected investors. We have all of the online auctions out there ported directly in here, meaning you can see what's happening on all of the auction sites. We also have an integration with Craigslist, so you can see all of the motivated sellers that are on Craigslist. And we do all sorts of filtering for you so you only see the best deals. You can sort by property type, value range, and whatever else you have. This type of data has never been available. Now, I'll touch on this a little later, but you can also see, if just by hitting this button right here, you can also see all the landlords and flippers in any area. So you can see the people who are flipping in your neighborhood. You can see exactly how much they paid for the property and what their spread was. So you can see people that are making $20, $30, $40, $50, $60,000 flipping properties in any neighborhood, and you can contact them directly. It's really cool. What I love about this, and I'm going to touch on it later, is you can see what investors are paying for properties. So it helps you gauge how much you should pay for a property. All right, now let me scroll down this page here, and you'll see we have a beautiful user interface here, and you can scroll around and see all the information on the property, the phone numbers, the email addresses, and just, I'd say we have about between 20 to 40% of people's contact info. So not even the US government has everyone's contact info, but you can see all the information here. You can simply just check any of the properties you like, and you can export them and do whatever you want to with those. Now, what's really cool here, let me just go and do a search. I'm going to search for Wilmington, and you're going to be able to search your market here in just a second. And I've kind of zoom into Wilmington, and you'll see all the results are updating right here. And then look at this. I mean, in Wilmington right here, we have this one right here, over $100,000 in equity in it. And here's the person's contact information. You can see all the information, the street view, the comps, everything that you need. You can actually get funded right from here. Remember, these properties all have private funding attached, and you can make an offer directly through the platform. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Here's another one right here. Let's take a look at this one. There's tons of equity in this one, over $163,000 in equity in that property. This one right here, it's another vacant property. Let me see if there's contact info here. Searching. So we search millions of contact records. Yep, got the contact info for there as well. So it's awesome that you can just kind of come in here. Now let me do a little filter. I'm going to go ahead and filter by just the vacant properties. So let me go ahead and zoom in here, and you'll see as I'm zooming in, all of the clusters are updating. You'll start seeing different pins that are different colors. The brown ones are probate. The red ones you'll see here are zombie properties. You can see some different vacant properties there as well. Let me go ahead and zoom out just a little bit here, and everything is updating in real time. The software is so fast and so easy to use. I love it. Now let me hit the filters, and let me just sort by courthouse deals. So again, these are properties that are being bid on down at the courthouse. Let me hit show me the deals. And then what's really cool here is I can scroll through all these deals, and then at the bottom, there's the whole list. And I can hit sort by. I can say, hey, I just want to know when properties have 50% equity. So those are like the slam dunk deals we were talking about. I only want to know the ones that are off market, right? And then also, this is really important, repair level. Do you see this right here? I just want to know of these deals, which ones need minor repairs. This is game changing, guys. Again, a lot of you have no business trying to manage rehab crews. So you can just find those good deals that don't need many repairs. Then it's like a Home Depot type rehab. A few weekends, you get the property looking good, put some lipstick on it, and you put it back out on the market. So you can create these amazing searches. And again, the UI is so easy. I can say, no, I don't want courthouse deals. Let me go ahead and filter by vacant properties. Hit show me the deals. And it just updates in real time for you. Now, what's really cool here is you can just hit the save search. The second you do, bam. This advanced search I just did is now saved. And anytime there's a new deal that meets that filter set, that search you just did, you're going to get notification. So you can create a crazy filter notification and then bam, when a fantastic deal in your subdivision is available. I did a city search, but you can search by neighborhood. You can search by subdivision. You can search by county. You can set up your alerts however you want them. And then you're going to know instantly when there are deals available. This is the power of big data. We made big data beautiful and put it in the hands of real estate investors like you. For the savvy guys out there who've been in the business for a while, could you imagine doing things the old way after having this? What would something like this do for your business? Now, you want access now, and I get it. I'm going to give you access to this in just a second. But again, let me just ask the flippers. Now that you've seen inside, do you think by having this, you can close just one more deal over the next 12 months? Could you close 2 more deals, 3 more deals, 5 more deals, 10 more deals? Once all the hard work is done and you can find just the best deals, it's really up to you on how many deals you want to do. So again, people always want to see their hometown. So I'm going to give you a web address that allows you to search your town. And this is all real data. So you can see your area right now. The Investors MLS is finally here. This is what's happening to the industry. You're not a real estate agent without access to the MLS. And now you're not a real estate investor without access to PIN. The people that have this can operate so much quicker. They can scale so much faster. And in the future, this will be the standard. But because you're here now on this webinar, you're going to get early access to it. And you have an open road to go do as many deals as you want. It will be crowded inside here one day as well. But right now, you need to go ahead and grab it and run. If you're already in the business, cashing checks, flipping houses, you've seen all you need. So as a courtesy for those of you who might have to leave early, go walk the dog or, whatever the heck it is you need to do, and you don't need to see anything else that comes with PIN because there's a lot more. But if what you saw is kind of all you really need, the next slide, I'm going to give you a web address to where you can go purchase it or you can access it and play with it. But before I give you access, I just want to make one thing clear. As you know, the main reason we're hosting this presentation and going to give you access to this for a fraction of the price is because our lending division needs to scale up to 100 billion over the next 12 months. So I personally believe by putting this in your hands and showing you exactly how to use it, even if we take a small loss up front, you'll continue to come to us for funding. This helps us reach our goals and it'll help you reach your goals as well. However, my CFO is not so sure. There's a lot of risk here on the big discount we're giving you for access to this. So to protect the shareholders who have invested a fortune to make this dream a reality, here's what we're going to do. A small group will be able to access everything I showed you and more for a fraction of the retail price. Plus, we're going to go above and beyond for you, for this small group of people to help guide you through the entire process. Go ahead and visit pinpointprofits.com and search your area right now. And you can also get the webinar only special pricing and all of the bonuses that we're throwing in for everyone who's on this webinar. Now, if you visit that page and code access no longer works, it means we hit our limit. And I'll tell you this, looking over the attendee box, I can see there are more people on this webinar than spots are available. So if you like what you see, go ahead and take action right away. Now, there's a phone number on that page. If the phone's busy, just keep calling back. Because again, I fully expect we're going to hit our limit before this webinar is over. But when you call, you have to make sure to tell them you have code access, or they're not going to give you the special pricing or any of the bonuses. So go ahead and visit PinPoint Profits to search your area. I'm going to touch on everything you get a little later, but you're going to get every deal type that we talked about daily. You're going to get free skip trace reports. Those are all the contact info. It's free. It's done for you. You're going to get unlimited cities, so you can use this in any city across the United States. We're going to throw in the landlord and flipper access for you, and you're going to get the webinar only bonuses. So make sure to visit pinpointprofits.com right now. Search your area. Maybe there are no deals in your area. If you're out in a very rural area, I don't want you to enroll in this and then say, hey, Ross, there's no deals. I've searched hundreds of areas. We always find deals. This way you can search and you can see exactly what you're getting. So this is a fantastic way for you to go ahead and enroll right now. And you don't have to attend the rest of the webinar, but the rest of the webinar is really important. Here's what happens behind the scenes. We're doing all the hard work for you. There's billions of data points analyzed daily. And some of those data points are over 100 million property records. There's millions of data points around mortgages. There's millions of contact records. There's millions of financial records, all of the MLS listed data, all of the public record data, and many proprietary data sources. And all this technical jargon aside, it simply means you have a front of the line pass. This is how someone who's completely new or just starting to scale up can compete with the biggest and most well-capitalized investors in your town. All you have to do is visit pinpointprofits.com and enter code ACCESS. And this was from an early beta user of the program. It could really happen this fast. Now, there's no guarantee it's going to happen this fast, but it did for Mike. He said, we purchased PIN during the seminar. We started on it yesterday and found a seller with 3 properties he's wanting to sell. We're putting our bid together now. Great program. We're excited about the future prospects. That's Mike. Because we've removed all the roadblocks for new investors, and we've helped experienced investors really turbocharge what they're doing. And today you get 50% off and all of the bonuses. Now we have an unquestioned money back guarantee. If you're not happy or have a change of heart, just let us know by calling us or emailing us, and we'll put the money right back into your account. And what we're doing here is if you make the investment, even if you decide it's not for you, we're going to let you keep some things kind of as a thank you. You're still going to have access to private funding. You see that free symbol next to a handful of the really important items here? If you try this out and it's not for you, I'm still going to allow you to keep all of this for a full year. This way you can get out there and you can get started, and you'll come back to us later, and you're going to have this to invest in real estate. So you're going to purchase it later. And I just want to stay in good graces with you. You won't be able to get it at this discount, but I'm still going to let you keep all of this just for enrolling during our webinar only special pricing right here using code ACCESS. So the risk is really on our side. This is what you need to thrive in today's uncertain times. If you have this and the market goes up, great. If you have this and the market goes down, even better. But without this, you get beat every time. You got your fishing pole in the water with everyone else. $1,497 is all you need. Again, in the future, this will be the standard. But right now, you have a nice runway. So take advantage of it. Visit pinpointprofits.com, enter code ACCESS, and you're in. Now you can flip houses outside of your town, because with your discount code, you can access deals in the entire United States. If you live outside of the US, consider this like your real estate investing citizenship. You can buy and sell real estate from anywhere in the world, in the city of your choice. Now listen, I fully understand, because I was the same way, that everyone always wants to start in their local area. They understand the streets and the neighborhoods. But if conditions are not optimal in your area, or if there are no deals, you can go elsewhere. You can invest where you grew up, or where a friend or family member lives, or somewhere you travel, whatever. You can follow the data and invest in the best markets. You might be saying, hey, my market's different. My market's no good. Get the heck out of your market then. And with the landlord tool, you can see, I'm going to show you here in a second, you can see exactly what areas are trending. You can see where people are flipping and where people are buying and holding. So you can follow the data. It's very rare, but you can now go to where the deals are. Geography is meaning less and less, and the numbers are meaning more and more. And because you have full access to the entire United States, you can do that. You can do that. You could start doing this right now. Here's what I love about what I showed you. You don't need any staff. You don't need a big marketing budget. You don't need cash or credit. You don't need prior experience, and you don't need much time. You don't need much time. If you've tried real estate investing in the past and you haven't had success, you might know why now. You didn't have access to the deal flow. It's not like you tried to invest in real estate and had all these fantastic deals that were really good deals and you failed. You tried real estate and you had deals that weren't great and no one was interested in them. As you know, real estate investing makes more millionaires than any other industry. Some people say, Ross, then why is it so hard? It's hard because you're doing it the hard way. This is what you need. You need an internet connection, which you have. You need a little training. Sounds like you're open to that. And you just need PIN. Here's what I found. People make choices and choices make the person. I was a self-made dumpster diver, but I made one choice that turned me into the person I am today. Someone who's a millionaire many times over, retired financially in my early 30s. So here's a big shift in thinking. Wealthy people don't think about how much something is going to cost them. They think about how much it's going to make them. Like I touched on earlier, I want to touch on this because you get to help others. I'm going to give you some specific examples here. Someone is struggling right now in your neighborhood, a neighbor perhaps, that you can help and benefit at the same time while fixing up your neighborhood. These people are in need of solutions. They are praying for you to solve their problem. And these are neighborhoods with problems. So a while back, I was using the pre-foreclosure list and I contacted this lady named Miss Brown. She was about to lose her house to foreclosure. She thought that one of her sons was going to be able to help her. Didn't work out. The church said they were going to be able to help her. Didn't work out. Basically, a lot of these banks now have these automated kind of robots that make decisions. So she wasn't getting anywhere with the banks. She was a few weeks away from literally being put out in the street with nowhere to go. With nowhere to go. Now we contacted her. We bought the house at a fair price. We got her moved into a new spot and prepaid her rent for her, put some money in her pocket, and I received a big hug and made a lot of money. So it was the ultimate win-win. And that's what you can do with this. Here's Jerry. She said, being able to contact motivated sellers directly helps me flip a property every week. Not having to pay for data saves me over thousands each month, right? Saves me thousands each month. Thanks, Ross. Congratulations, Jerry. We're going to get back into the training aspect in a second, but there's a lot to learn here from this story. Jerry at first kept getting beat to the best deals. He couldn't move fast enough. He was doing all the hard work. You know, I know many of you feel like there are no deals out there, just like Jerry did. He felt the same way. But after using data, he was able to dominate his market. Jerry dominates his market. Here's Penny. She made a year's salary. She said, the strategies I learned made it possible for me to find a property that I quickly fixed and flipped and made more on that one flip than 99% of people make in a year. This allows you to tiptoe into the business if you're brand new. And I talked to Penny, and here's what I learned, and this really moved me. Penny, she really needed freedom to work when and where she wanted to. But also she needed big influxes of cash to help take care of family members that rely on her. She has to be able to drop everything at a moment's notice to be there to help her family. So it's really not an option. And that's what attracted her to real estate investing. And when she saw this, she was like, finally, this checks all the boxes. Do you have a similar story? Do you have family members that both need your financial support and you to be there for them? It's a really tough riddle to solve, right? How do I make more money and be here for you physically at the same time? You know, at first Penny felt real estate investing was too time consuming, but what she found is PIN does nearly all of the heavy lifting. So now she can be there for her family while making money. And I'll tell you, making it in America right now is tough. Even in a strong economy, expenses are on the rise and competition continues to rise. Now, this guy right here do you know who this is? Put it in the webinar box. I'm just curious if anyone can recognize this individual. There we go. Franklin Roosevelt. And he was the individual who got Social Security passed. But listen, it takes around $1.2 million to retire. It's 12x your best annual income. So take you and your spouse, times that by 12. That's what you need to retire at a very, very minimum. That's if there's no health or family issues. And, you know, we're going to talk about this. You fix the roof while it's sunny outside. Let me just talk about this because this gentleman introduced Social Security, but it was a 3-part plan. Most people that are 45 or older, if they keep on their current track, will not have the assets to be able to retire. Baby boomers grew up during this idea of pension and Social Security, and that would be like their safety net. But things have changed big time. You used to be able to get a nice return on safe government bonds. That doesn't exist anymore, meaning you're losing money every single day. Inflation is eating you up. And with the wild swings of electronic trading and all the scandals there, it's just absolutely ridiculous. You don't have control over that. Now, most baby boomers, they know more about real estate than any other type of investment because of years of home ownership. So if you're not close to saving the $1.2 million that you need, what are your choices? You can't save your way to that number. You have to make more. We're talking about the difference here between eating ramen or caviar in your golden years, or maybe having to move in with your adult kids. Those who hit the retirement age without enough saved, you know what they do? They jump back into the workforce. They pick up an easy side job. Maybe they drive for Uber until they lose their license, right? But these jobs are disappearing at a very, very fast rate due to artificial intelligence and just business efficiency. It's a reality check that's confirming what's in the back of your mind. And maybe it makes you scared or a little angry. Good. Many times nothing happens until you get a little angry. And if you're still a few decades away from retirement, don't blink. It'll be here before you know it. For those of you who are already in real estate, great. You already have a plan. So you're on this call for a reason. You're really lucky you made it here. You fix the roof while it's sunny outside. Right? What that means is while you have the ability to do something, you do something. Don't wait until it's too late. Visit pinpointprofits.com, enter code ACCESS, and implement this plan. Start getting large amounts of cash coming into your bank account, or go the rental route and just have steady income coming in. It's something you have control over. You can control that. So listen, now that you 100% know how to find discounted properties in any location that others can't, I'm going to connect the rest of the dots for you. Because so much has changed. It's almost better to be a beginner. We talked about step one, where to look. And again, just to take a moment here, just for you to absorb this, just how game-changing it is, how convenient it is, how easy it is to find every single type of deal in any market, in any city, in every subdivision, and be able to contact these people, which is what we're going to talk about here in a second. This is how you beat out the best, most well-capitalized real estate investors in your town. Again, just like a real estate agent would be nothing without the MLS, you're not a real estate investor without access to PIN, because you don't know where to look. So we take it a step further here, and let's talk about how to connect with these people, because we didn't just want to show you the property, because the second you see the property, you're like, all right, Ross, this is great. It's an unlisted property. What do I do now? What do I do now? We're going to show you how to connect in a modern way. So how do I find the owner? Here's how it's currently taught by the gurus and the books. First thing you need to do is buy a list. And it costs hundreds, even thousands of dollars to buy these lists just one time. And guess what? It's the same list that everyone else is buying. And then you buy stamps, you buy letters, you do an Excel mail merge, and you knock on strangers' doors. Don't do this. Now listen, I feel weird saying not to do this because this is exactly where I started. So if you are like super motivated, you need to do it all, right? You need to be that 2-arm boxer. This is your left jab, right? When you have time, you're knocking on doors, you're risking your life, right? Doing that. I got chased off doorsteps and it was scary. And then you have your right hook, right? That's a little more modern to where you can, while you're sitting at a bus stop or sitting at work, you can have your phone out and you can start getting that side hustle going. Anytime you have a few minutes, you can start working on your business. With the PIN method, you just have email, text or call, social media, and direct mail is a last resort. I'm not against direct mail. It's just a last resort. And you saw how you were able to very easily narrow down the type of people you were looking for. You can find someone who has a vacant house in pre-foreclosure with high equity and no repairs. That's not going to be a huge list. That's going to be a really targeted list. So you might email them, text, hit them up on social media, and then you have a small list. So you write some letters and you send it to them. It's fine. It's just not super expensive. In the past, you had to buy a list of everything and just blast it all out. You save so much money with PinPoint Profits that the $14.97 that you're going to invest today, you make it up so many different ways. If your time is worth more than $1 an hour, you make it up there. Let me just touch on this because this is important. Remember, today you get over 50% off and all of the free bonuses. The bonuses include all of the scripts and the letters. So I know what you're thinking, Ross, what do I say? If I'm texting them, what do I do there? If I'm calling them, what do I say if they answer? Right? What letters do I use? Don't worry. It's all done. It's all solved for you. It's all solved for you. It's part of the bonuses. You're going to have the direct mail software, and yeah, you just press a few buttons and bam, you start sending out the letters. It's all tied in right there. It's a 1-2 punch, guys. You got a nice left jab and a nice right hook. So let me just ask you this question. Who's going to win this race? Your competition's to-do list. Buying old bad lists, buying stamps, letters, sending letters and waiting weeks, and sending multiple times. And those old lists, those are expensive. They're very, very expensive to buy. Just buying one market will cost you $700-800. That's before you do the mailing. So, for the $14.97 that you're investing to enroll in PIN, that's like doing one mailing. And with PIN, you have access to every market forever. I'm going to touch base back on something important here in a second, but your to-do list, log into PIN, send a message, wait a few hours or seconds, right? Who's going to win this race? This is your competition's to-do list. This is your to-do list. The reality is very few people make it through this maze right here. And then they go online and say, oh, real estate investing doesn't work, blah, 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 blah. Let them think that. That's great. When people complain, they're just upset. They weren't educating themselves like you are. They didn't have the right tools and, they lost. And very few people make it through this maze. There's someone in your market right now that doesn't know about PIN that's dominating with direct mail. And they're spending $7,000 to $10,000 or more a month sending direct mail to everyone in your market. So this is how you beat that juggernaut to the best deals. Remember Blockbuster? They would have said, people can't compete with us. They'd have to build 4,000 offices and staff thousands. Then Netflix came along and wiped them out because they went straight to the consumer. If you're an active real estate investor, again, consider this a warning. Some newbie is gonna get this in your market and wipe you out. So here's a vacant house, right? No one is home. No one is home. But guess what? They still have a phone and an email. Do you want to send this house a letter? I don't. Now, if you're a new investor, you're probably scratching your head, right? And saying, why the heck would someone send mail to a vacant house? Because sometimes it works. It's literally like just shooting in the dark. Every now and then you accidentally hit it, but you're not pinpointing the best deals and just going right to the decision maker. That's why you have to spend so much in direct mail. Here's a motivated seller's mailbox. It's filled with bills, bad news, and bullies. So why do smart investors use direct mail? It was the only way. It was the fastest way. They don't know any better. And somehow it still makes money. Again, this is a great last resort. This is a fantastic last resort. It's all about progression here, guys. Here you go. Back in the day, if you wanted to send a message, you had to send a raven. Any Game of Thrones fans? Send a raven, right? Then we started sending up smoke signals. Then the U.S. Post Office came around. And that was great for a while. You had Newman out there losing all your mail. Now it's this easy, this fast. Just like you couldn't compete with someone who was sending mail if you were sending ravens, you can't compete with someone who is using technology like this. And remember, guys, we're going to give you the free skip trace reports. We typically charge $2 a piece for those. But just like I showed you in the demo, you're going to be able to do free basic skip search reports, and you're going to have people's contact info. So your access is granted. Visit pinpointprofits.com, enter code ACCESS, and you're in. Here's Penny. She saw PinPoint Profits during the beta version. And she said, oh my God, there's some really good leads in here, killing me. Can we block out the Wilmington buyers so no one else can get our leads? This has been the thinking. I bring this up because this is what everyone thinks. The reason this data has never been available is because people make so much money with it. They don't want you to have access to it. It was the big secret that Connected Investors is letting out of the bag. This really accelerates your efforts. Experienced investors, before being on this call, my gosh, you were doing things the hard way. I'm so excited for you. It's like a breath of fresh air. The scared studier, you can finally get in the game. Agents, you can use this to get listings. Again, it's not built for agents, but these people need to sell their properties. So if you contact them, it's great. Savvy home buyers, you can easily find discounted homes way below market value. And those looking for a side hustle, you found it. You already know real estate is the number one best spot for a side hustle and the most profitable. Now you know how to actually do it. So, what's your big goal? What do you want to accomplish? Do you want to pay off your house, take vacations, take care of the loved ones, get out of debt? Log into Pin. There are the deals. Before I move on to the next phase of this presentation here, let me ask you this one question. If you had this and you worked it, what does your life look like in 2 years? Now, if you don't have this and you keep doing what you're doing, what does your life look like in 2 years? You can't save your way to financial freedom. You have to make more money. You need Pin and you need to start working it right now. No matter where you are, you'll be in a better place if you just push on this just a little bit, okay? So here's another insider secret right here. This is really important. With this, you never have to visit the property, right? You don't have to live in the same town. This allows you to really grow your business in any direction that you want. And this can all be done through text and email. And we cover all of this in detail in the boot camp that we're giving those who enroll today. Now you might be saying, Ross, I want the results, but I don't want to do any of the work. All right, well, listen, the work has to be done, but you don't necessarily have to be the one to do the work. And it doesn't mean that you're lazy. It just means you're a big thinker. I mean, for instance, Henry Ford, when he started Ford Motor Company, he wasn't down there putting the nuts and bolts in the car. He organized a team of people that went out and did it for him. He took the profits. If that's how you think, you're going to love what I'm going to show you here. Check this out. You can just come right in PinPoint Profits. And let's say you find a great deal, right? One of those slam dunk deals we were talking about. This one right here. Last sale, 122. It's worth 202. Like $60,000 in spread there. You hit the contact button. Let's see. Oh, good. We got it. So now what you can actually do is, even though this property is not listed, when you hit the make offer button, you can have someone else go out and do all of the work and make that offer for you. We have investor-friendly real estate agents lined up in every single market around the entire United States that are just waiting to get those offers sent to them. Then they will take the information and they'll go to the homeowner on your behalf and put the deal together. So now you don't have to do anything. The realtors have to operate by their code of ethics. So they have your best interest at heart. And sure, it's going to cost you an extra 2.5%, 3%. But now you don't have to do anything and you can scale out in any market across the United States. And realtors love these leads because it's just like, hey, here's the house I want. Here's the homeowner. Go get them. They run out there as fast as they can. They get in their car, skirt, go to the property. They're knocking on the door. They're saying, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Who's this guy right here? This is Eric. Hey, Eric, I got someone that wants to buy your property. Do you want to sell it? And they're like, get the heck off my property. Right? They come back. They're like, hey, Ross, I'm sorry. They didn't want to sell. You have anyone else? Here's another one. Skirt. They go to that property. Knock, knock, knock. Hey, we have someone that wants to buy your property. Yes, I'd love to sell. Bam. Done. All that's happening behind the scenes. Plus, you have boots on the ground. You got someone out there taking a look at the property. This was so critically important to make this as easy as possible for you. Remember, in the beginning, Connected Investors was founded with one core principle: make real estate investing easier. We finally found a way to work with realtors that works for the investor and the realtor. It's huge. Now, the properties that are already listed, you can just hit the make offer button and make an offer directly there. You don't need a realtor. But now you can have realtors go do all of the hard work for you. And this is included when you visit pinpointprofits.com and you enter code ACCESS. This type of information, this type of convenience, this type of automation doesn't exist anywhere else other than here. If this is your first real estate investing webinar you've ever been on, I just completely and totally spoiled you. Because anytime you go to another webinar, you're going to look at them, you're going to listen to what they're saying and say, that's the hard way. I know a better way. You do know a better way, and it's right here. It's pinpointprofits.com. Enter code ACCESS. I'm running here 1,000,000 miles an hour, so I don't know if we've hit our limit yet. Remember, there's only a small amount of people who are going to get access to everything at the price that we have on that page right now. Other people are going to have to pay double or triple or just get locked out. So visit that site right now. Make the investment. You need this. Okay. So now let's move to step 3. This is really cashing in, using the method that makes you the most money with the least brain damage. You know where to look, where others can't. You know how to connect. Now let's talk about cashing in. This is really important. And again, I'm just going to bring this up because your timing is perfect. Demand is at an all-time high. Supply is decreasing. Today's market conditions make flipping easier than ever before because all of the buyers are there. And PIN makes it faster and more profitable. Let's go ahead and talk about exactly how you're going to profit here, because there's a lot of different ways to profit in real estate, which is what makes it exciting. You can do a quick wholesale, or you can do a fix and flip. Now you get to make the choice how much money you want to make on each deal. I know you guys are they're slamming the keyboard. You're like, hey, Ross, what about funding? What about this? What about that? We're going to cover that here in a second. The fix and flip. This is selling retail to families. This is what you see on HGTV. And sometimes it's a headache, right? But this is where kind of the bigger profits are made. You have to find the property. Does everyone here know how they're going to find properties? Yeah, of course you do. You're going to contact the owner and get it under contract. Do you know how to contact owners now? Yes. Do it yourself or have someone else do it. Get it under contract. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Fund the property. Remember, we're here for you to fund all of your investment properties. All right, so you know where to go there. You have to fix the property, and you sell the property to a retail buyer. This is what Forbes shows making $58,000 on. Now, again, it's a little more of a headache to have to do that, but you've probably done a lot worse for a lot less. I used to be a dumpster diver, so it was okay with dealing with all of the headaches. And the real headaches here, guys, I'm just being as honest as possible here so you really understand, is fixing the property. That's where there's a lot of moving parts. Sometimes it's worth figuring that all out. But take a look at this. There's robots now that can start to install drywall and do simple construction tasks. Guys, I'm telling you, AI is taking over. This is why you have to survive the fourth industrial revolution. The world is changing fast. You either change, you lose out big time. Man, I can't wait for those rehab robots. So let's talk about wholetailing. This is when you're selling to retail bargain hunters. So people that are willing to buy houses that need a little elbow grease because they want to get in a certain neighborhood. They want to get in neighborhoods maybe they can't afford or something along those lines. So you find the property. You know how you find the property with PIN. Contact the owner. You know how to do that. You fund the property. We're here for you. We can point you in a direction. You clean the property. You don't fix the property. You clean the property. You just clean it out. Then you sell the property at a slight discount. This is a great model in today's market. This is my favorite. And listen, remember earlier I showed you inside PIN, you can search for properties that don't need repairs. No one else in the world can point you in that direction. If you don't have PIN, you can't do that. So you can say, hey, I just want to know someone's inherited a property in this subdivision that has 50% equity and it doesn't need many repairs. Meaning you have a slam dunk deal that no one else knows about. Those are the best ones to wholesale because there's not a lot of repairs there. And when there's less repairs, there's less moving parts. It's a great model in today's market. And sometimes these wholesales will bid up and up and up and you'll get retail for them. And you can take home a really big check without doing much work at all. This is the quick flip, wholesaling. This allows you to scale into any market. There's a lot less friction. Let's go and talk about this. So you find the property, use PIN. You contact the owner and get it under contract. You don't have to fund the property. You don't have to fix the property. You sell, not the property, the contract to a landlord or a flipper. You're going to make less than $58,000, but this is much faster, much easier, and there's zero brain damage here. This allows you to kind of get into all the markets around the United States with no friction. You can just go to where the good deals are, especially when you see what I'm going to show you with the landlords here. Before I touch on that, I know in each of these scenarios, I talked about the contract. And the big question is, Ross, what contract should I use? There's only one right answer. The one approved for your state. The one approved for your situation. A lot of people, they get these contracts online. These like, download your free contract. Hoo-wee. Don't do that. Things change. So what we've done is we created a way for you to make sure you always had the right contract for your state. This is a simple fill in the blank contract that can be digitally signed and delivered. And when you enroll today, you're going to get access to every contract you will ever need for your real estate investing business. And what I want to point out here is if you lean into the screen and look, do you see it says, where's the property located in North Carolina? That's fantastic because it's going to help point you in the right direction. Remember the Microsoft paperclip guy, right? That's pretty much how you get walked through these contracts. And, you can just pick your state and then bam, you go through it, just all fill in the blank. It helps you negotiate your deal through the contract. It's actually really cool. And this saved me big time. I was doing a deal where I was seller financing and I chose the wrong type of contract for my state. And it said, whoa, Ross, that contract is not valid in North Carolina. Use this one instead. So this is the absolute best thing you can do. It's like having an attorney right over your shoulder for all of your contracts. This is more than you ever need. It's every purchase and sale, lease, LLC creation. If you haven't created an LLC, you can do that right there. Options, assignments. There's even a prenup in there, which is pretty fun. Will, trusts, deed, etc. It's everything that you're ever going to need. And today when you enroll, not only are you getting 50% off everything, but you're also getting the contract software that I just showed you called the Contract Genie. That's included. It solves your problem for you because you always have to contract. Now with the whole realtor option, it's pretty cool because the realtors can kind of handle a lot of that for you. But this still puts you in the driver's seat. It's critically important not to mess up that step. And I'm not a details guy. I'm a bottom liner. I'm a fast mover. I'm a ready, fire, aim. So this has really helped keep me in check. It keeps me organized because all my contracts are in the same spot. And it's really nice to have. And it's saved my rear end on a few deals. That's included. And again, that's actually one of the things that even if you make the investment today and decide it's not for you, you can still keep for a full year. So let's talk about what the best kind of buyer is. Here's the type of buyer that you want. No emotional attachments to the property. They don't care what color the walls are, right? You can do several deals with. The right buyer turns into like a partner to where you're shopping with their money. They have their financing in place. And I will say, if you ever run across someone who wants to buy an investment property from you, you can always point them to us and we can help them get the financing. They're motivated to close quick. These are landlords and active flippers. Now, last time I pulled these stats, about 27% of all properties were bought by landlords and flippers. This is a huge, huge market. It's a huge monster just wanting to eat up properties, and you just need to bring them to the landlord and the flipper. Selling your deals to the right buyers is the key to all of this being fast. Look at this. I brought this up earlier, but I just want to point out a few things. Read that right there. Read what I have circled. Rental landlords, including Wall Street, continue to plow money into residential rentals. The only thing stopping them is they can't find deals fast enough. That's where you come in. If you're an active flipper with PIN, you're going to have so many deals that you're going to need to wholesale a few of these off. It just gets crazy. So it's a great bolt-on for the active flipper. And it's a great way to get started for someone who might be a little bit scared to put the money piece together, which is push button easy. But hey, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. But this is great. This is why the timing is so important here. How do you find the best buyers? This is how the gurus and the old books and courses teach it. You have to network, reverse engineer the MLS when you don't have access to the MLS, so you can't do that. Hold and go to local meetup groups for real estate investors and put out bandit signs. Now, I used to put out these signs that said investment properties for sale. Call me. Man, I did things the hard way. Data is such a nice thing. You don't have to do this anymore. I'm going to show you how to find the best buyers, which are landlords and flippers. Let me go ahead and pull up PIN. Man, I can't wait to have access to this. So what you're seeing right here, all this fire, this is the landlord and flipper activity in the United States. So you can see where people are buying rentals and flips. You can see exactly how much they're paying for these flips. And you can also contact them. So you have access to every landlord and flipper in every subdivision, on every street, in every city across the United States. And you can easily reach out to them and contact them. And what's really cool is if someone says they're an active flipper, inside PIN, you can kind of check them out. You can say, hey, what property did you flip? You can type it in and you can see how much they made on the property. I don't have time to get into this right here, but for those of you who are already in PIN, Congratulations. You have full access to all of this. For those of you who enroll today, we'll even put your deals in front of the right buyers for you. Here are the steps. It's so much fun. You key in the address, or, you ready for this? You take a picture of the property. That's it. Key in the address or take a picture. Step 2, add the price. How much do you want? That's it. Watch the offers roll in. Take the highest offer. It's like seagulls on a French fry. These landlords are buying at such a high rate. Flippers just need deal flow. If you got the deal, they want the deal. You just take the highest offer. And when you visit pinpointprofits.com and enter code ACCESS, you're going to be able to get access to all these landlords and flippers. This is really quick flipping modernized. It's fully digital now. You don't have to leave the comfort of your own home. You can do all of the research you want directly from your computer. And what's really cool about this is kind of back when I started, real estate investors had to be like extroverts. They had to want to go out there and want to go to meetings and do all of this networking and talking to all sorts of different people and strangers. Now what's great is you can actually just, the same way people invest in stocks, you can sit behind your computer screen and do it all through text, email, pick up the phone, visit properties every now and then if you want. It's completely and totally modernized. I will say this, investing in real estate without PIN, I just thought of this analogy, is kind of like if you want to buy and sell stocks and you don't use any online tools. Like you go down to the local markets and you're trying to like buy stocks like it's 1960 or something. Could you imagine? And then also, this just popped into my head. Imagine if when you were buying stocks, you only bought stocks of companies that were in your town. You'd have no options. So what's great about this is you can buy properties in your town or outside of your town. Yes, you can flip properties with a smartphone or a laptop with no employees, office space, completely paperless, and from anywhere in the world. I really, still to this day, and I've seen it all, couldn't imagine a better business than real estate. There was a short time ago where I didn't honestly think that because it was so hard without access to this data. But with this data, it is the best because you can literally do it on your own. You can be that person who's going to do it all yourself, or you can build a little team if you want. I mean, it's really fun. It's really easy. You can even do this if you never thought of yourself as a real estate investor, have very little startup capital and no past experience. Again, in many cases, it's better to be new because so much has changed. And yes, it's now possible to profit in just 2 to 4 weeks from home, just using your phone. For the first time, this is within your reach. It's a completely different way that's never been available before. And listen, what does from your phone really mean? It means you're not nailed down to a desk to complete mission critical tasks. You can do this during your lunch break. I mentioned this during a webinar we did about a month or so ago, and I received so many comments of people who were in similar situations. I just wanted to bring it up. So I recently had my first child. She only takes naps sitting on either me or my wife. So it's like everything has to stop. I'm sitting there with her and rocking her to sleep, and she falls asleep. I stare at her for a little while, then I start to get bored. I take out my cell phone and I'm doing deals. I'm scrolling through PIN. I'm liking properties. I'm creating lists. I'm texting people. And when my daughter wakes up, I'm there for her. I'm there for her. I'm able to do this and be there while I'm building the financial security of my family. Maybe you don't have a baby that has to sleep on you, but you might be supporting your family or have other things that are, in your lap. You don't have to choose between home life and work life now. It's really become completely digital. And it's great that you can enter the most lucrative market in the world. Real estate is the millionaire maker as far as industries go. But you had to be out in the field. Not anymore. Not anymore. It creates a massive amount of freedom. And it's the most proven industry out there. When you enroll today, we're going to give you access to all the landlords and flippers. And this was something that we were going to sell as a complete separate package. But for the people on the webinar, when I talked to my CFO, I'm like, I just want to give them everything. Let's give them absolutely everything we have. There are no upsells after this. You ever bought something from a company and they pretend like it's going to solve all your problems? And then they're like, now you need this. That's not happening here. We don't have anything else. There's no reason for us to do anything else. We're a tech company. All we want to do is just build this out, build our fund. I guess our something else is we want to give you money. So if that's so bad, then, that is what it is. but you're going to get access to all the landlords and flippers in every single market across the United States. So that's really huge. Just visit pinpointprofits.com and enter code access. Again, if you put code access in and the price doesn't drop and all the bonuses don't show, it means you missed out. Retail value is still well worth this. So don't be bitter. If you missed out, you missed out. Make the investment, just get it done and move on. But listen, you know that people make money in real estate. Here's a young investor. He said, over 40 deals. I completed 40 transactions and profited. You can kind of use your mind to fill in that blank. We operate at the highest level of compliance here in every way. And our lawyers tell me that we're not supposed to show actual check amounts because profit varies from deal to deal. So to make the lawyers happy, we had to blur out Robert's profits. But what I can tell you is that Fortune magazine says the average profit on a flip is over $50,000. And Robert's done 40 flips. So when Robert says he truly enjoys investing, I'd say, who wouldn't? He's done 40 flips. How are you going to feel when you find and flip your next deal using PIN? You think this kid's going to have to worry about retirement? Absolutely not. Good thing he didn't get sucked into any other industry that kind of disappears. He got into real estate at a young age. Fantastic. And here's Justin. He said, my first deal was easy. Being able to find buyers using my phone is a game changer. My friends are flipping burgers and I'm flipping houses. I made some good money, right? Quick flipping to an investor. Great job, Justin. And Justin was this guy that had he was a millennial, right? So he had every different type of software. And I talked to him and he was trying to piece everything together and it was so frustrating for him. So at first he thought, hey, I have another system. Why do I need this one? Well, when he saw it, he understood why he needed it. This is a big one right here. And even if you're not a millennial, I think this will really resonate with you. If you're a millennial, you understand certain facts. You know the world moves fast, that the old system is broken, a side hustle is a must, and you understand that information is the most valuable commodity. So let me just quickly explain this chart right here. What you're seeing is how fast technology has changed over the last 50, 60 years. And this red circle you see on the screen, this is where your parents came in. They had no idea what was coming right around the corner. They had no idea things would be moving so fast and things changing so fast. Do you remember when mom or dad lost their job? Maybe your family didn't suffer, but I'm sure you knew people who did. Many millennials witnessed their family get robbed of their money and their plan. Parents couldn't see it coming. When you were growing up as a millennial, they encouraged you to go to college, thinking that would be the best route for you, the safest. They just want what's best for you. Well, the traditional route is not as guaranteed as it once was. The only guarantee you have is when you go to college, you're going to be up to your eyeballs in debt. And then you have to climb out. Maybe that's what you're doing now. But I love this generation. They're very entrepreneurial. They know they have to make it happen. They need a side hustle. They know the system's broke. No matter your age, listen to this, no matter your age, you need a PhD in money. And that's what this is. Speaking of PhDs, most of my neighbors are doctors and lawyers and business owners, right? And one of my neighbors, I forgot their name. So I pulled out PIN and just typed in their address just to get their name. I wasn't trying to spy on them and see all the information on their property. But what I saw is they owed more than their property was worth. He's in his 50s. He's a doctor and he's up to his eyeballs in debt. He still has 27 years before his house is paid off. When I'm sitting here in my mid to early 30s, my house is paid off. And listen, if you're a millennial, there's a chance that you're going to be taking care of your parents or a family member financially. So you need to make sure you get well ahead of the curve. What I love about real estate is it provides big lumps of cash. And you can do this in your spare time. You can also find properties to flip, rent, or live in. And this is a fantastic step toward financial freedom that is simple and proven. So what is financial freedom? It means different things to different people. I don't know what it means to you. But for some people, it means having a big nest egg and not having to worry about the wolf at their door. For other people, it means having material things like a big house or a nice car in their driveway. And others, financial freedom might mean you can give back, help others in need. So, you have to really decide what it means to you. And if you haven't done so already, at some point sit down with a cup of coffee or tea and write it down, make a goal. I'm going to take a minute and tell you what it means to me. To me, it means I'm out of the rat race. I don't have to worry about what happens in the economy. And the first thing that I did once I reached that level of financial freedom is I paid off my house. Could you imagine what it would be like to wake up every morning knowing that you own your house? You never have to make another payment. I was able to accomplish that in my early 30s, thanks to this business. And you can do the same thing. Now, I'm not saying any of this to brag. I just want you to understand that, when I grew up, my grandparents and my parents, they looked at success as having your house paid off. That was a huge milestone that they would get to when they were, 50, 60, or 70 years old. And because of this business, I was able to get there in my early 30s. There's nothing else that's going to put you on a faster path than the things that we're talking about and showing you on this presentation. Again, according to Fortune magazine, the average flip brings in $60,000. You don't need many of those deals to get to where you want to be. I remember when I paid off my house, my wife, the way that she looked at me, she has never been more proud. She gave me the biggest hug. And, we both came from nothing. So that was a really big moment for us. This can happen to you as well. I mean, you saw right inside PIN, there are deals that have hundreds of thousands of dollars in profits. You don't need many of those to get to where you want to be. But the one thing I learned is you have to run toward your goals. There's no moseying toward your goals. You have to run. You have to run. How you spend your time defines your priorities. What are you doing? What would be better to do than this? Nothing. That's why we're here. Investment property funding, what won't work? The bank or your own cash. Even if you have a lot of money, don't use it. Don't use it. What does work is hard money lenders, private money lenders, and money partners. Now I'm going to go over the 37 steps to getting any investment property funded and how to negotiate the best price and terms. I'm sorry, I'm not going to waste your time with this. What we've created is kind of like the Priceline negotiator for real estate investment capital. I'm sorry, I'll never do that again. But it's a perfect analogy, right? Because check this out. New real estate investing funding portal consolidates the fragmented industry. Connected Investors, the world's largest real estate investors network and marketplace, today announced the launch of the first centralized real estate investment funding portal. This is a really big deal. We literally changed the flow of money in the real estate investing game. And we brought on the CEO of a little company called LendingTree to help us with it. You guys ever heard of LendingTree? The puppet that dances around? When lenders compete, you win. We brought on some of the smartest minds to bring a solution like that into the real estate investment world. Before that, it was riddled with fraud. And we solved that problem. And we're growing like crazy, trying to get to $100 billion. Before PIN and before what we've done, the only way you can get funding is to go to the Good Old Boys Network. And I just saw a report that fraud is up over 1,000% in lending to real estate investors. 1,000%. It's crazy. Even if you find a real lender, you have to beg and you overpay. Now, you press about 15 buttons, you get connected with real private lenders, no brokers, you choose your money partner, and you make money. You now search for funding the same way you search for a flight or book a hotel room. You just have to have the deals. So here's Dawn. She thought she couldn't get into real estate because she needed funding. But she's not held back because of funding anymore. She's not held back. Through Connected Investors, I met a lender who not only financed me, but helped me find a partner to provide the down payment that was necessary to get my deal funded. Fantastic. Making it happen. There's no excuse. There are plenty of people that want to get their money into your hands, and we're going to connect you with them. Here's Brian. He said, before I kept spinning my wheels getting nothing done. In a short time, I've accomplished so much and successfully raised capital for my real estate investing business. Thank you so much, Brian. Look at this. You know who the real beneficiary of all this is? This beautiful little girl right here. Because she gets her dad back. He's able to do this all from home. You have a little girl at home. You want to spend time with her, but you need to support your family. Now that's all been solved right here. And I'll tell you this. We have a lot of moms that are very successful as real estate investors. And being a mom is a hard job. If you can be a mom, you can easily be a real estate investor. If you're a stay-at-home parent, this is perfect for you. You don't have to sell makeup or join some scammy network marketing company. That stuff never works. And remember, today you get 50% off, and we're going to give you access to the private funding that you need. So you can get the money just like Dawn, just like Brian. I have to finish this off right here with being part of Generation X. You got completely and totally blindsided by the crash. Expenses are rising, and you really need to make the next 10 years count. You got out of college or started your young adult life off with a nice upswing. Everything's funny when you're making money, right? Things are going well. You fell in love. You got married. You started a family. Then crash. Your whole trajectory changed. Your career changed. But you know what didn't change? The fact that you have to save for multiple people's futures. Life is getting more expensive for all sorts of reasons. If you keep doing what you're doing today, the next 5 or 10 years gets really hard. If you're in real estate, great. You got a plan. All you need to do is scale up. And when you visit PinPointProfits.com and enter code ACCESS, you're going to get everything we covered today, and you can scale up. But if not, you need to go ahead and get in right now. You know, one of the biggest myths out there is the only way to become wealthy or get rich is to have like a new, crazy, big idea. That's a fairy tale you hear in the news. You get rich by executing well on a proven plan. And that's why you're here. That's why you're in real estate. Real estate is the most proven. You have to find deals, right? Step number 1, find the deal. You know how that's going to be done. You need the money. You got the money. You need the buyers. You have the buyers. If you're on this webinar still right now, you're fine with training. We have all of the training you're going to need. I'm going to go over everything you're going to get in detail here in just a second. But visit PinPointProfits.com, enter code ACCESS, make sure you get the discount, or you're just going to overpay for this. So that's my little girl I was talking about right there. Brace for impact. Now, listen, for anyone who has a fear of flying, I have to apologize in advance. I still haven't even told this story to my mother because she's already scared of flying. I was on a flight and I was actually putting the final touches on this presentation when I smelled something. Then an announcement came over the loudspeaker. The smoke started to fill the plane. Oxygen masks came down. And when I looked out the window, we were flying really, really low. I pulled my phone up. We were flying so low, I was able to get cell reception. I called my wife up at like 12:30 at night, past midnight. I had a conversation with her like I was dying. It was one of those moments in life. And while I'm talking to my wife on the phone, the flight attendant is saying, oh my God, I'm 25. I don't want to crash. I don't want to die. You know how scary that was? I had to kind of tell my wife my last words. And the whole time, the very first thing I was thinking is, will my family be safe? Did I set them up to be safe? What happens if I'm gone? Then the phone dies. So now my wife, could you imagine being on the other end? You have no idea what's happening. The person next to me is recording their death video on their cell phone, like crying into their phone. You know, they were teaching us how to brace for impact. And it was absolutely crazy. So as I was going down, I wasn't screaming like other people or recording my death video. I already told my wife I loved her. So I just wanted to be calm. And I was just thinking, did I give it all I had? Did I really go for it? Right? Because it's not the things you did that you regret. It's the things you didn't do. And then I'm like, did I really help others? I was starting to think, who's going to be at my funeral? Right? And what I love about with real estate is I was able to help so many people. Then the plane kind of leveled out. The fire went away. There was a fire in the cockpit that was causing all this. And smoke went away. We did an emergency landing and we were okay. You know, I really share this with you guys just because you never know when you're going to go. You got to give it all you have while you have it. You got to go all in. You got to make sure your family's taken care of. That's what real estate's done for me. And I know it can do the same thing for you. You could do it too. Jerry's done it. Penny's done it. Brian's done it. All these people. James, CI has changed my life. I'm now a full-time real estate investor and entrepreneur. Vincent, Dawn. I mean, there were so many testimonials. I actually cut a lot of them from the presentation and just tried to put in the testimonials there that provided some lesson as well. I mean, people make money in real estate. It's not like you need to be convinced of that. And you need deals, and we're just pointing you to the deals. It's very, very easy. So let me ask you a question. What would your life be like if you made an extra $100,000 a year? Do you want to go on some nice vacations and have some nice moments with your wife or your spouse or your life or yourself? Absolutely. Do you have the savings that you need to kind of get ahead? Do you want to be able to spend time with friends? Or maybe you just want to say, hey, boss, I quit. For me, it's not about private jets and Lamborghinis. It's about not worrying. That's why the first thing I did was pay off my house. I just wanted that feeling of financial security. When I go to a restaurant, I don't want to look at the cost of food. I want to get the food I want. When it's cold outside, I don't want to worry about the heat. Keep it warm in here. I want to be able to help my family if they get sick. I don't mind when my family calls me up and says, hey, Ross, I need some help. I'm like, great, I can help. Please let me help. I was lucky to find real estate. I worked hard. If these are things that you want to do, it's awesome because all you have to do is, I'm going to pull up PIN again, is you're looking for a deal? You want to go on a nice vacation? Well, let's find a deal here. This one right here. Let me close this. Over a vacant house with about $92,000 in potential spread. You can hit the contact button, reach out to the person. You want to go on a vacation? Talk to this person first. Get the deal done, or follow some of the models that we showed you where you don't have to do anything. Go on a vacation. All right, you want to pay off your house? Let's see if we can find a really good deal here. I mean, there's a lot of great deals here. I don't know how much you owe on your house, but there's $272,000 in equity in this property right here, and there's the person's phone number. So I really am so excited for those of you who've already invested in PIN, because you got what you need. You absolutely have what you need. And guys, if you like Lamborghinis and all that stuff, I mean, don't let me tell you what to do with your money. I would hope you would invest money back into your business and continue to grow and build a legacy for your family, but have some fun. Fun is fun. Now, as this new economy shakes out, where does it leave you? Now that you've seen how smart real estate investors operate and the massive disadvantage you'll be at if you don't have these time-saving tools, if you don't have PIN, are you going to continue to climb uphill? Or are you going to do something about it? I'd imagine you're here on this planet for a reason. And maybe real estate's not what you love, but you can get those large amounts of cash to come in and go do what you love. I love real estate and I love technology. I use my real estate to fund my technology business. Now I take my profits from my technology business and I put it back into real estate. You can do the same type of thing with whatever you love. You need to do it right now. The market is perfect. Again, PIN is going to be the standard. You have early access to this and you can get up and running right now. So picture this. You can flip homes in your spare time rather than having to do all the hard work. You could quickly find motivated sellers rather than fishing from that pond that everyone else is fishing from. You can have access to unlimited capital rather than having to beg for money. It's an entirely new way to find, fund, and flip investment real estate. PinPoint is the most complete real estate investing wealth building system available. Implementation is a breeze. The information is comprehensive. The tech is easy to use. And the entire platform is turnkey. The hardest tasks, all that data, all that grinding, the billions of records, blah, 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 all that crazy technical jargon is all done for you. All the elements you need to get a deal done are served directly to you. All you need is the attitude and some modest training. It's your competitive advantage. It's your path to real results, and it's a complete solution. With PIN 3.0, you're no longer getting beat to the best deals, held back because of funding, worrying if your deal will sell. And listen, here's what I've done to make this as clear and as easy as possible for you. As the real estate industry continues to evolve, you've already seen how old tactics become completely obsolete. New opportunities arise and you have to be able to move on it quickly. That's why it becomes mission critical. You have access to the best tech, the best data, all the know-how, the systems, and the people that you need to get ahead. So we've brought it all to you and you're getting access to absolutely everything, more than I've even had time to touch base on throughout this presentation. The best part is everything is broken down into cookie cutter steps and is laser focused on two things: putting cash in your pocket now and building long-term wealth. You've seen some of the software that you're getting with PinPoint Profits. So let me go ahead and explain the education. Before I tell you everything you're getting, let me just explain something. Now, as you saw through this presentation, it's all as easy as touching a button. And that's how this program works. But there are different types of people out there. For the guys who are experts, this is just your jet fuel to take your business over the top and give you that freedom that you want. Then there's the person that wants to know everything about what they're doing just to be sure they're doing it right. Think of this as your reference library, something you can go to anytime to find a little something extra. We have people that are brand new, and they might be the personality type that wants to know everything. This is soup to nuts on how all of this stuff really works. Think of this kind of like as an online university. And you can attack this in two ways. You can take every training under the sun that I'm going to give you here, or you can take the abbreviated version with all of the cliff notes. You can use this however you want. I just don't want you to get the impression you have to read all of this or learn all of these different things before you get started. So you're going to get the Connected Investors Institute. You're going to learn everything there is to know about motivated sellers, how to contact them, and how to transact with these motivated sellers. We're going to show you how to run all of the numbers. Yes, right inside PIN, it runs the numbers for you, but maybe you want to really understand the math behind it. We have that for you. We're going to show you how to position yourself to get unlimited funding. Again, we have lenders ready, willing, and able to compete to be your funding partner, but it's nice to understand all of the ins and outs of funding. We're going to show you how to connect with the landlords, the cash buyers, and how to position yourself to where they're competing over your deals. We're going to show you each and every step in closing deals. And what's great is many of these trainings come with long checklists, which are a fantastic way to stay organized through the real estate investing process. Now we're going to show you all of the things you need to know when it comes to fixing properties. All of the checklists to go through, all of the contractor forms, like everything that you need to fix up properties is included in this course. We're going to show you how to keep it all. This is asset protection. It's not what you make, it's what you keep. And we're also going to show you how to structure profitable partnerships. This is every bit of information you need to be a real estate investor in today's world. So the Connected Investors Institute is your virtual classroom, because you can access this virtual classroom from anywhere in the United States. You get to learn with others, training at your pace. You get videos, workbooks, and audio downloads. And the retail value of this is $997. We did not have to include this, but like I said earlier, I wanted to just give this group of people that are on this webinar right now every single thing we possibly could to make you successful. This way you come to us for the funding. This is everything that we could possibly give you. And, this is just really the right thing to do. We have live support every day. You're going to get a help hotline, live chat support, and email support. This way there's never a small problem that stops you from making big profits. And this is priceless once you get up and running. We're going to give you all the scripts, the email scripts, the phone scripts, and the pre-scripted letters. The retail value of this is $250. You're going to get access to this when you enroll in PinPointProfits.com right now. The online bootcamp. Now this starts next Tuesday. You can attend. You can have your staff attend. And if you miss it next Tuesday, we have one the following week as well. Recordings are available. Now, what's really interesting about what we did with our boot camps is we have a boot camp for experienced investors and a boot camp for inexperienced investors. Pretty nice, huh? This way you can start where you need to start. And today, you're getting access to every deal type. Remember, what deals do you go after? All of them. All of them. You're going to get access to foreclosures, REOs, bank-owned, shadow inventory, vacant houses, abandoned houses, online auctions, zombie properties, for sale by owners, Craigslist deals, expired listings, pre-foreclosure, courthouse steps, probate, and inherited houses as well. All you have to do is visit PinPointProfits.com and enter code ACCESS. So again, you're getting every deal type. This is your deal finding GPS. As part of the special bonus, you're going to be able to search every city, every county, every subdivision. This is over a $3,564 retail value. You're also going to get CI Notify. This is like that, Hey Ross, instead of Hey Siri or Hey Alexa. Hey Ross, let me know if the owners at 27 Main Street ever show signs of needing to sell fast. You can build your own list of properties, right? Or you can say, hey Ross, find me an off-market property that's vacant in my neighborhood. It's in pre-foreclosure, blah, 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 right? It's a great deal. You can set up those notifications and you get access to that. CI Notify. Property notifications based on deal type, owner situation, every city, county, neighborhood, etc. This is a must-have. This makes real estate investing very, very easy, very modern, very on-demand. Find what you're looking for when you need it. Now, finding the needle in the haystack deals. These are the slam dunk deals. This is data layering. So this is the big game changer. These are the most customizable searches I've ever seen available based on whatever you want. So you're going to have the out-of-town layer. You can add this layer to any search, and people who are out of town, they have no attachment to the property. Their motivation is increased. Property condition layer. This layer allows you to pinpoint deals with low to no rehab. You can reduce the unknowns. Listing layer. You can add this to any search. So you can just say, hey, I want to know of the vacant deals that are listed and the vacant deals that aren't listed. What's really cool about this, I didn't have time to get into it, is you just add this layer, listed properties only, and you can just rapid fire make offers because you can see what the property is listed for. You can see what the person owes. So you can say, okay, deal, no deal, no deal. And you can just make offers. That easy, that fast. You're going to get the high equity layer. So again, this ties right into the other one. So you can say, hey, I want to know all of the properties that are listed, that are vacant, and have high equity. That is just sitting there for you. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. Because you need this, I'm going to give it to you. And again, this was one of those things that my CFO and I really butted heads about because he wanted to sell this as an upsell to you. And I wanted to give you everything. This is landlord and flipper access. You'll see how to find the best buyers. You'll see where they're buying. You can see how much they're paying. You can see their holdings. You can see their contact info. And because we put your deals in front of a lot of these buyers for you, it's like quick flipping done for you. Property data. You're going to get all the different property data. You'll always know what properties are worth, what is owed, purchase history, and the property details. This is essential. You can get the free skip trace reports to find motivated sellers, contact info in a click, email, phone, social profiles, $12,000 a month. I wanted to give you unlimited forever skip trace reports, but we had to put some sort of a box around it because this could bankrupt us. So if you hit your $12,000 per month limit, reach out to us. We can unlock some things for you. I had to put a box around it just to protect the investors in my company. You're going to get every contract for every state. This is fill in the blank contracts, digitally signed and delivered LLC creation. We even included a prenup there. This is worth $1,200 a year easily. It'll save your butt as well. And you get all of this when you visit pinpointprofits.com and enter code ACCESS. You can also get any questions about this. I should have mentioned this more. I'm sorry about it. Just pick up the phone and call us. We'll help get you enrolled. We'll figure out how to get you in. Money for your flips and rentals. This is why we're here. Through our funding portal, we want to hit $100 billion. You can have private lenders compete to be your capital partner for any of the deals that are inside there. And what's great about this is because we're like the negotiator for you in a lot of ways with having this competitive market, you're able to save a few points here and there. If you save 1 point on a $200,000 loan, that's a lot of money. That more than covers the investment that you're making in this program. So the real world value of PIN with all of today's bonuses is over $6,000 and over $500 a month. I mean, think about it. I mean, you're starting a real business with no roof over your head to where you can go from, zero to hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, I mean, any business, it usually costs way more than that to get involved. So if you miss out on getting the webinar discount and you have to pay even this much, it's well worth it. It's well worth it. I'm sure you would agree that PIN with all the bonuses is world class and in a league all its own. But we're giving those people on the webinar access to this for a fraction of the price. Remember, we want to grow together. We want this to be the start of a very long, long relationship. We've been around since 2005 and we are not going anywhere. The stuff you see right here is the tip of the iceberg. The stuff our developers are working on, my gosh, we don't stop developing stuff. This is just the start. We're your technology and data provider throughout your entire career. We're here for you. And if you need the funding, go ahead and come to us. We need to deploy billions of dollars. So today you get the unlimited plan and all the bonuses for an investment of only $1,497, saving you thousands and thousands of dollars and so much money each and every month. You've seen the price here. We showed it to you 30 minutes into the webinar. This is not something I can leave up and let everyone in, as it just doesn't make financial sense for us to provide all of this data, all the script trace reports. It gets very, very expensive. But for this small group of people that we're working with, you're going to have access to all of this at a fixed low price. And remember, the boot camp starts next Tuesday. I really look forward to seeing you there, talking to you. This webinar, we have thousands of people on. I'm having a hard time seeing a lot of questions come in, but I can't really interact with you guys and keep the pace of the webinar going. But on the boot camps, they're small and intimate. We can get to know each other. We can help each other accelerate what we're working on here. So today you get over 50% off and all of the free bonuses. You took a lot of really, really smart people, well-connected people to navigate the crazy landscape of data, to get around the MLS's hold on some of this data, to figure out how to get billions of records into a simple user interface that's fast, to solve all of these problems. It was a tremendous, tremendous undertaking. The team here at Connected Investors couldn't have done it without them. This was a huge effort by a lot of people, and you get to benefit. You get to benefit from this. This is my life's work. Go ahead and get in on this. Now, everything you see in blue, even if you try it out, you enroll today, it's not for you, and you leave, you can still access everything in blue for a year afterwards. So it's really a no-brainer. So the special pricing and bonuses is for webinar attendees only. It's because you're here. I had to say this. Do not try to invest in real estate without this. I know it's self-serving for me to say that, but it is also 100% the truth. You can't compete. You will lose. You will get beat up, clobbered, chewed up, spit out, and you might wind up losing whatever money you invest. You're going to do things the hard way. Don't invest in real estate without this. Go drive for Uber, right? Until Uber, fires you because they have robots driving, right? Go do that. Don't you dare try to do this without this. The $14.97 enrollment fee is your first test to see if you really want it, to see if you'll do what it takes. It's crazy because a few days ago, this came across my desk. Someone saw early access to this. They called our office up. They really wanted it. They couldn't afford it. They just didn't have the $1,497. But like me, when I was in the dumpster, they would do whatever it took, right? Because they knew they needed this. What they did, it was crazy. They actually pawned their TV and some gold to get the money to enroll. And we did some special stuff for them to help them out. We're here to help you guys, right? You just got to pick up the phone and call. What do they need a TV for, right? What do you want, a TV or financial security? What do they need gold for? Go flip a deal, put some money in your pocket, and then go buy a bigger TV and better gold if that's what you want. But what I love is they didn't let anything stop them. I get so many emails of people, I want this, I can't afford it. All right, well, then you don't want it because you can figure it out. Now, because you're here, enrollment is only $14.97. There's no payments for 6 whole months. After 6 months, access is only $97 a month. Oh, you know what? This reminds me, there was another person who was really excited about this. They didn't have the money. They started a GoFundMe account and they put it all around the internet and they got their friends and family to all throw in a few bucks and they enrolled. This just happened. I don't know if they've had any success with it, but I know someone who is willing to go through that has what it takes. They're going to break through whatever roadblock comes their way. They're going to push right through. And then we're always really motivated on our team to really help the people that are really trying to help themselves. And letting you guys get in at $14.97. This is me investing in you. Now, if you try to go about this without PIN, at least you know why you're getting your butt kicked. You're that one-arm boxer, right? Good luck. You got a bunch of newbies with 2 strong arms now, and they're going to be knocking you out. You'd have to adapt or die. Don't get blockbustered. Don't get blockbustered. So without PIN, this is kind of what you got to do every day. With PIN, you have a straightforward line. Guys, success is always intentional. I'd rather aim for the stars and hit it than, never aim at all. And, like when I was on that plane and, I thought I was going to die and told my wife, I love you, goodbye, and said some pretty crazy things. The biggest regrets in life are all of the could have beens. So what would your life be like if you invested in PIN, you pulled together the money, you really gave it a shot. You attended the trainings, you reached out, you did what you had to do to make it happen. What does your life look like in the next 2 to 4 years? Or if you keep doing what you're doing, what does your life look like? Let me ask you a question. Who's coming home with fish? And I might have been a little harsh on you earlier, but this is why I said just don't even try. If you're a newbie, you have no chance if you're going to try to drop your pole there with everyone else. You're just going to waste your time. You're going to come home with a black eye. You're going to have a fish hook in your mouth, right? This guy right here is obviously going to win. So yeah, yes, there are deals in every market. Everything is designed for desktop and mobile. And yes, you'll get results if you work it. Will the results be you'll do a deal in 2 weeks? I don't know. No one knows. It's up to you. But these are the deals. Here is the money. You have access to everything. We've led you to water. You just have to drink. But the first test is, do you believe in yourself? Let me ask you this. If you 100% believed that investing in this would help you do just one more deal, if someone came back from the future and tapped you on the shoulder and said, yes, this would work, would you get the money together? Would you get the enrollment fee? Yes, you would. Why wouldn't you? Well, you'd trade $14.97 for $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 all day long, right? The reason I bring that up is because you know real estate works. You know people profit in real estate, right? Yes. You know you have access to the deals, right? Yes. So you just have to do it. I know it sounds crazy, but you can almost have that type of a guarantee if you just do it. You hear only 1% of people are successful, right? That's because only 1% of people actually try. It's crazy because in a study of I am obsessed with studying the mind of millionaires. And there was this awesome study that we did. I'll email everyone the millionaire study after this because it was very eye-opening. The average millionaire, self-made millionaire, failed 4 times before they found their calling. So you know what? If you want to learn how to be successful, ask the person who's failed the most times. Now, the average middle-class person failed less than 1 time. They never tried. They never even tried. And that's really the difference. You got to be present to win. And if you failed a few times, if you tried this, it didn't work, good for you. You're 1 step closer. And maybe you try this and maybe this doesn't work, but you're 1 step closer. Let's get you 1 step closer today. So this was really cool. I got this like moments before the webinar because very few people have had access to the early access. It's in my first deal. To the PinPoint team, I want to take a moment and share with you my experience of the PinPoint software. A month ago, I decided to jump into wholesaling and the home flipping business with my wife in Orange County. I knew it wasn't going to be easy since I knew Southern California is very competitive. The most competitive, maybe the most competitive market. However, I landed on a webinar one day on a platform called PinPoint by Connected Investors. I thought at first the price was a little high, but let me share with you that the value you get is absolutely ridiculous in the industry. I jumped right in and tackled the list. I found the list near my home, so we started in his market. I took all the pre-foreclosures and I called and texted all the phone numbers that showed up in PinPoint software, and I also emailed every one of them. It took me 50 calls and texts, and I got a few leads for an appointment out of them. I got one that was in pre-foreclosure, and we just struck a deal. We netted some good money, apparently. Not bad for my first deal using PinPoint. Thank you for an awesome software, guys. Keep up the great work, and I'm a customer for life. That's what we're looking for. He thought it was expensive, but remember, guys, it's not how much something costs you, it's how much it makes you. You can't save your way to financial freedom. You have to make investments. Max, thank you so much for this testimonial. If you happen to be on this webinar, we're really excited for you, and I'm glad you're a customer for life. That's what I'm looking for. All right. Everyone said no way. Here's John. Some of you guys might know John. He's a very, very active real estate investor. And you know what he thought? He thought, I already have everything I need. Why the heck do I need you? He said, I filled out a simple form and had multiple private lenders contact me immediately. I got funding for my real estate investment when everyone else turned me down. It was fast and easy. Bam. Fast and what? Fast and what? Easy. That's our goal here at Connected Investors, just to make everything a little bit easier. Great job, John. Here's Luke. He was really experienced already. He said, I sold a recent wholesale deal to someone I met on your site and also have built a great network of people. Feel free to share my comments. That's great. Good job, Luke. Here's Channing. He thought before he got involved in this that he couldn't get into it because he didn't have the money. He said, looking forward to many more. I've closed 2 loans and I'm looking forward to many more deals and growing my business much faster and more effectively, meaning easier, meaning that we're meeting our goal of helping you get more out of everything you do, making it easier for you. Congratulations. Now, this one right here is a bit long, but it's important. I'm just going to highlight a few things here. This guy is a chiropractor who found out that he wasn't going to be able to practice anymore because of an injury. He said, the problem is my kids like to eat. So I decided, my partner and I had done fix and flips, some small commercial projects, waterfront lots. We raised over $4 million in equity in just 8 days. and we closed on a 125 unit townhouse complex in Lexington, Kentucky. Great job. Do you have kids? Do they like to eat? I bet they do. I know my little girl likes to eat. This guy was a chiropractor. So what he thought is he's like, I don't have the time to do this. You do have the time. Remember my story about how I was jumping in and out of dumpsters? I had no money, but I found just 1 hour a day. That changed my life. That was a millionaire decision. That one decision changed my entire life. I couldn't imagine where I'd be if I didn't make that decision. Connected Investors is right on track when it comes to making real estate big data accessible to real estate investors and making it easier for their real estate dreams to come true. Great job, Tom. I absolutely love Connected Investors. Their program, software, support, access to the community of professionals is amazing. And I showed you this earlier. See, I changed my life. I'm now a full-time real estate investor thanks to Connected Investors. You can get enrolled in this for only $1,497. There's no payments for 6 months, unlimited people search forever, all the bonuses, everything that you need right here. Here's my biggest fear. I don't want to fast forward 3 or 4 months from now and you're still sitting in the same place you are today, stuck, because you're stepping over dollars to pick up pennies. You don't think you have the time. You have the time to do this. You have the time to do this. In 10 years from now, are you still going to be working where you're working? Are you going to let your dreams get away from you because you didn't take action? Now you only have 24 hours in a day. And your success depends on what you do with those 24 hours. Me, you, Elon Musk, Oprah, right? We all have the same 24 hours. But successful people invest their time and money into things that produce more money. So at this point, it's entirely up to you. The deals are there, the money there. The only thing that's not there yet is you. I will say this. For anyone wanting to quit their job, the time is now. Because at any point, the economy takes a turn, you could be gone. In real estate, the economy goes down, great. We make more money when the economy goes down. Economy goes up, great. We make good money when the economy goes up. I'll tell you this, outside of just the fear of someone else determining my destiny, to wake up every day, every morning, and know that my compensation is fixed, to know that I have to do the same thing over and over again, and no matter how hard I work, I'll only make little raises. Oh, thanks, boss. I got a 10% raise. Woohoo. Great. That helps a little. You know, your pay is capped. That would kill me inside. If you don't jump out of bed excited, then, you're not in the right spot. And successful people aren't the smartest. They're the ones who procrastinate the least. Follow their gut. So everyone who made the investment, you made a very wise decision. Your future self will definitely thank you for it. Everyone who hasn't yet made the investment, this could be your very last chance. And if you don't get enrolled, if this isn't for you, right, I just really hope that you learned something here. I really hope that this kind of grabbed you by the shoulders and I was able to shake you a little bit and wake you up. But I'll tell you this, if you're still sitting there, what is this, 2 hours? 2 hours later, I'm sure this presentation did something for you. And like I promised you, in the beginning of this call, you'll never look at real estate the same again. What's going to happen now is you're going to be driving down the street and you're going to see that house with the long grass and you're going to wish you had PIN because you could take your phone out, learn everything about that property. And if it's a deal, you can contact the owner right there. So while you're out walking your kid or riding your bike, you see a good deal, you can capitalize on it with PIN. You're never going to look at real estate the same again. So I've given you absolutely everything I have. I'm going to leave this up for about another 10 minutes. Call us if you have any questions. Pick up the phone, give us a call. We'll help you get enrolled. Thank you so very much for everyone who invested your time with me. But what you need to do is you made a lot of very smart decisions to get here. You opened up our email. You got on a presentation. You're willing to learn. You have access to the internet. You're just missing one vital tool. It's PIN. And you can get access to that at pinpointprofits.com and enter code ACCESS. All right, I'm going to leave this up for 10 more minutes. For those of you who made the investment, I can't wait to talk to you on the boot camp next week. We're here for you every step of the way. We're very, very serious about your success and making sure that this is the best decision that you ever make. Again, if you're not interested, good luck. I hope you learned something. For everyone who saw value in this, made the investment, I'll see you on the training. Bye, everyone.